everybody! Today's video might be a little weird. I don't have a structure. I haven't really worked through all my thoughts on this. So this is kind of going to be me working through kind of some thoughts and feelings, and also a review of a movie that's coming out very soon. These are some of my thoughts that I've been having on book to movie adaptations, specifically in regards to the movie Love, Simon, and possibly also to be applied to A Wrinkle in Time, which is coming out very soon. Okay, here we go. So, you know that I'm a fan of Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and that I'm a fan of the companion book, The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli, and that I'm also, maybe you don't know this, I am very excited for Leah on the Upbeat, which is the sequel to Simon. So I was so excited when I found out they were doing a movie based on this book, and everything that Becky Albertalli kept tweeting about the movie, her reaction to seeing the final kind of cut of it, all the guest stars, the whole cast list, everything seems so great. And then I saw the movie. I got to see it early because my lovely, lovely friend Jen, who you know from the video where we dyed my hair together, she got some free passes because she is an excellent blogger. I will put we'll have her blog address right here, and I'll have it down below later. Sometimes she gets us into movies, and she got us into this movie. And y'all, it was so good. I knew that it was going to be, I knew it was going to be good because Becky loved it. I knew that there were going to be some things that were different, and I will talk about that in just a minute. But I was kind of blown away by the fact that even though there were big differences that I don't know, I wonder if in the past, kind of us as a younger person or a younger reader, if the changes would have upset me more, or if I would have accepted what this movie is on its own, kind of it's on its own merits anyways. But I really can't come at it from any other perspective than my own, so here's where I am right now. There were some, gosh, not monumental differences, but kind of big differences, and I want to tell you about some of the things. So if these are things that would bother you, you can kind of accept them now and go into the movie kind of knowing that they're there, without spoiling things, if that makes any sense. So if you don't want to know anything about the movie, then this video is not for you. If you do, here we go. We're going to talk about it. So if you've read the book, I'm guessing you have, Simon has two sisters. In the movie, he only has one. He has his younger sister, and she is quite a bit younger in the movie, so she's not in high school with him, which affects another part of the storyline having to do with Leah, which I thought would really annoy me, but it was okay. I do think it would have been interesting to have that storyline in there, but it's not, and that's all right. There is an added character. There's a vice principal who kind of plays a bigger role. It did not annoy me because it's Buster from Arrested Development, so yeah, he can be in anything and it's great. There was a scene that I was really excited about, that was kind of talked about, and it did not make the final cut. If you were looking forward to seeing Colton Haynes, you might have to wait until the deleted scenes on the DVD. Just so you know, I kind of got to a certain point in the movie and I was like, oh, I guess that didn't, okay. There are some, additional scenes that weren't in the actual book that were great. Everything that was different from the source material, from the book itself, still felt natural. It still felt like it would have happened in Simon's world. Nothing was out of character. There's one little thing that I don't remember being in the book, but it might have been my interpretation of the book. And I'd need to go back and reread it again to see if that's explicit, and I dismissed it because sometimes I do that. But other than that, it was I cried, I laughed, I hid behind my hands because it was so mortifying in parts. I was angry on Simon's behalf. All things that I did when I read the book. Like, I had all of these feelings, and they were, if anything, sometimes magnified because the actors are just so freaking adorable. Yeah, so it's really good. So I guess my thoughts on... Hi, Charlie. Where are you? Hi, Charlie. I guess my thoughts on movie adaptations of books are that, I don't know, they're so ephemeral sometimes. Like, it really bothered me, and it still bothers me, that in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Hagrid says that he got Fluffy from an Irish guy, an Irish chappie in the pub. I am incensed every time I think about it that he says Irish chappie instead of Greek chappie because the three-headed dog, Cerberus, is Greek. Like, why would you say Irish? And possibly there's some reason. Maybe the actor just flubbed it and they didn't have time to do another take. Maybe there is some three-headed dog in Celtic Irish mythology that I've never heard of. I should read. I have a book on Celtic mythology. I should read it, but it like kills me. And I wonder if I read Harry Potter later, if I watched the movies later, if I would be less angry about that. I wonder about all the people who are still angry that Dan Radcliffe's eyes are blue and not green. That, you know, he doesn't have, but, you know, I mean, people are still upset that the girl who played Lily looks nothing like Dan Rad. But I think there's something to be said for when you're going into this movie particularly, probably, don't seek out the differences. Like, don't go in needing it to be word for word, scene for scene, exactly like the book. Especially if the author has, you know, said over and over again how proud she is of, you know, the finished product and, you know, how excited she is to see her characters, even if some things are different, like that she gave her stamp of approval means a lot, I think, in this situation. I just don't want people to not like this movie. I feel very close to it. This differs so wildly from movie adaptations that we've seen, Lightning Thief, that, where like a big studio kind of took it and did it in almost an unfaithful way, so that the author, who when they sell the rights to their movies, really sell the rights to their movies, they don't usually get a say in anything, and so if it's wildly different than the source material, they can't do anything about it, and it's not their fault, and it's like not even worth being angry about, except we all still are angry. Maybe I'm just not as nitpicky in my old age. So I was talking to a teenager the other day who their main sticking point in a movie was the fact that the character had a different color hair than in the book. And while I can see kind of the basis for that argument, I think now I want a movie to stay true to the spirit of a book rather than, you know, line for line realism. Does that make sense? And I think this is going to be really important. I mean, if you're going to buy into my theories about this, I think it's going to be really important to keep in mind when A Wrinkle in Time comes out in a couple weeks, because I think it's going to look really different than people have imagined A Wrinkle in Time to look for 50 years. And I think that it's going to look different only in ways that are still true to the spirit of the book. And I think if Madeline L'Engle was alive, I think she would... I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say for sure that it is and it does, but I trust the director and I trust all of the actors, everyone involved in it. I trust them to do a faithful job. I don't know, I've just been thinking about what it means to translate from one medium to another. Back in the sister book club video that my sisters and I did on Christmas, my sister Katie said, you know, it's a whole different thing. And some books translate well into film, and some books should never be translated into film. Beyond the fact that Love, Simon was so good. It is so good. And I cannot wait to go see it again. If it is showing in your area, please go see it and support it. It has been, I don't know if ever, it's been a long time anyways, since I've seen a movie set in high school that was so wonderful. In a not kind of cynical, as much as I love John Hughes, some of, like, The Breakfast Club is a little cynical, and my favorite, Some Kind of Wonderful, is a little cynical. But it's in the vein of those great high school movies and like romances, but from a point of view that we've never had before, from like a gay kid. Like, I think that's fascinating. And, you know, whether it is an actual reflection of an actual gay 17-year-old boy coming out, I can't say, because I've never been a gay 17-year-old boy who's had to come out. But it felt real, it felt genuine, and I hope that a lot of kids out there get to experience something like Simon's story. So, anyways, I hope you see Love, Simon. I hope you see A Wrinkle in Time. I hope you love them both, and I hope that you don't sit through the movie saying, that's not the line, that's not the email address that he should have. And where are the weird aliens covered in fur? Because that's my fears. That's what I'm going to do during Wrinkle in Time. Anyways, so that's it for me. If you could make any sense out of this video, give it some likes. Do that down below. Comment below. Kind of where you live in the world of book to movie adaptations. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Share this wherever you share YouTube videos. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, a lovely evening. I hope you're happy. I hope you're safe, and I hope you have a good